Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Anime Academia podcast. I am one of your hosts, Professor Pickle, alongside, as always, with...
Yo, what's going on, students? It's your professor, Reggin, aka Tom here.
And of course, as always, we are giving you a great podcast every Sunday, every week, because that is our Nindo. That's our ninja way. You better believe
Believe
it. Believe it. And yeah, so as you can't tell already by the hat, the shirt, and I gotta stand up again for this because I gotta reach my leg up the shorts. But yeah, so, class is in session. Let's talk Naruto.
今すぐまっすぐ君のことを探したいけど君が残した人影らの勇気で歩き出せる踏み出せるもう迷わないからどんな道だって振り向かずに進める一人だって覚えていますか君と
All right, so a little introduction into the world of Naruto, and we're only doing Naruto. We're going to separate Naruto and Naruto Shippuden just so then we can give it more of a fair shot, because if we mix them all together, there basically would be kind of no love for the original Naruto show. So the world of Naruto is about this young boy. His name is Naruto Uzumaki. He's also known as the Demon of the Leaf Village because everybody's scared of him. He has no idea that everybody is not supposed to talk to him, treat him fairly, or anything else like that. They have a decree out for him. Basically, nobody can let Naruto know anything. It just happens the one day that he fails his exam to become a ninja, he basically gets brainwashed to go ahead and take a secret scroll so then his power can be used for evil. Naruto learns the truth, and of course the homie Aruka Sensei basically makes it that he changes him and let him know that they're the same, and he wants to see Naruto go on the path of good. So we go a little bit down the road. We see Naruto's adventures as he grows into a great ninja that we all know the love. And yeah, he's had some crazy adventures. We see some crazy jutsus, and it's just his ninja way. He just wants to become a Hokage, and we're gonna go down this road with him. Believe it.
Perfect, yeah. So, if you want to go ahead and say how you got into the show Naruto, I'd be excited to hear about that.
Of course. So because I'm old, yeah, I know I'm old. I'm in my 30s. I'm old. So I got into it through Toonami on New Year's Eve, the first year that Naruto came out. So in Toonami, they were running a whole Naruto marathon. And the one thing that made me like really fall in love with it, besides just the beginning, because he's just a cool kid. He's a kid who's literally terrorizing his whole village. But they literally do it to the premiere where Naruto first shows us his nine-tailed chakra against Haku. So I got to experience the hype of like the animation and everything with it. I'm like, oh, this is so clean. I like this. I likes this. So I was hooked ever since, and I just been a Narutard ever since. That's what the community likes to call us hardcore Naruto fans. But you know what though? You can wear that with pride. Be a Narutard with me.
Right, so yeah, so mine, I watched it my junior year of high school, I want to say it was when I first watched it. So it was out for a while, and this is when I was just getting into a bunch of animes. The same friend who I've mentioned a bunch of times who gotten me into a whole bunch of other animes, like, you gotta watch this one. I watched it one episode. I remember just chilling in my bedroom watching one episode, and I don't think I stopped. Then I binged up until the tuning exams until I stopped. I just kept going. It's a great show. I've watched. I know everything in Shippuden. Pretty much a lot of it I watched through like bits and pieces instead of watching actual whole episodes. But that's not now. It's there. But yes, that's how I got into it. Just from a friend. How I get into all my animes. I don't just stumble upon stuff. That was only Demon Slayer I stumbled upon that. Before we go any further, of course, want to mention spoilers. It's been out for a while. If you don't know anything about Naruto, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, there's other spoilers in this.
We're already up, so there should be no spoilers at this
right.
point. We're at his kids' era now.
Right.
Let's be honest.
So like, there's no manga to go over. It's only anime. because it's completed. And then also, if you guys do like Naruto, head over to the main channel to check out. We just did a Naruto drinking game, and
Hmm.
it was so fun. We were so, of course, drink responsibly, but we were very wasted, and it was just a lot of fun trying to talk, can't making any actual sentences about Naruto. So yeah, it was really fun to go over to the main Dylan Comstock channel, check that out. You'll see that in there. But yeah, so we're gonna get to the ratings. I'm going to start off today with the ratings and our categories later on. But so I'm gonna start off with the plot and story. Now I bounce back and forth with this a little bit. It is an 8.5 for me for the plot and story. It's not awful. It's not an awful story, but it does fit like those older animes. They are very slow compared to the newer ones, and I'm not used to the older ones as much as the newer ones. Which that's just a me thing. How your other professor, he's more of an oldie, so stuff like that. He's probably more used to where I'm, newer generation, which is it's perfect having new and old generation in this podcast. However, like I don't think it's awful. I don't think I've ever watched a filler episode. I think I have watched a few, but the filler episodes are what kills me because like I may try to skip a lot of those. There's a few that I'm like, okay, these are good. There's some good filler episodes you have to watch. Um, but there's a lot. But yeah, so it's just an 8.5. It's not awful. Uh, is it my favorite? It does take a while. Like I liked it when I first started watching it, but it does take a while for things to really start happening. Characters, 8 out of 10 for me. Only reason is that they give you one of the biggest rosters of characters, and they keep throwing more and more at you, but there's only a select few that are actually good. They keep giving you characters that aren't good. And like, what's the point of having them? Like, a lot of the younger kids in this, like all the Genin and stuff, I'm not a fan of all of them, but a few. Like, it's one of our categories later. My top five are pretty much the five I like. So that's hard to choose from. But yeah, so characters are 8 for me out of 10. Little harsh on that one. However, it does go up to a 9 out of 10 for fights because unlike the only fight or the only anime I think I've given 10 out of 10 for fights is Demon Slayer, and maybe I gave it to AOT.
You gave it to My Hero.
Was it My Hero?
I-
I'll have to check.
It was either My Hero or it was AOT. It was one or the other, I believe. If it wasn't a 10, it was. It might as well have been a 10. Yeah.
Right. But no, so they give you a lot of great fights, and some of the best fights in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden are in the first Naruto, just for like that nostalgic feel, and like just some my favorite fights in the series combined is in Naruto. Um, but they also give you such dog water fights, such bad fights that are boring and just like what's the point, There's a lot. There's a lot that are pretty. Not a lot. Okay. There's an amount that are like this is not necessary. Didn't need to be in there.
That's fair.
There's a specific one in the tuning exam. I don't want to talk about it.
When you were saying a lot, you got me a little heated there because
Okay.
I'm like, there's
There's
that
not a
many.
lot.
No. You made it up though because you said there's some. I was like, okay, I can
Yeah.
co-sign all that.
But so 9 out of 10 animation. I took into consideration, for the time it came out, when the fights that happened, like the best fights and the major fights I took in that animation, that's why it gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Because it is an older anime, and it's really hard to get above a 9. Like I think the only one that gets above a 9 is Demon Slayer for me, because like that animation's peak. But for the time that this came out, even up through Shippuden, like it's not bad animation. It's so old that the first one's like it's a 9:6 I think, or like 9:3. It's just like the square box is how they have it shot. Like that's how old it is. But it's not bad animation whatsoever. Is there parts that could are a little lackluster? Yeah, but one of my favorite fights has one of my favorite animation styles. So overall, Naruto is my second lowest anime rated, right above Pokemon at an 8.8. It actually was an 8.6, but I'm like, Naruto deserves a little bit more than that, so I rounded it myself to an 8.8 out of 10. So it's above Pokemon. but below My Hero, AOT, and Demon Slayer for me at least.
That's his ratings, not mine. Anyway, for the plot, I am giving it a 9 out of 10. Reason why is because I actually enjoyed the fillers of this. There wasn't so many because I can name a few animes that have ridiculous amount of fillers. Bleach, One Piece, those are way out of pocket with so many of them. But I mean, with Naruto though, with the plot though, I kept on getting more. I kept on getting not just the typical he wants to be Hokage. Like I got a lot of different elements added to the game where he wants to try to grow his element of his style of being a ninja, and it just keeps on going up because he's getting introduced to more tasks, more things at hand, and yes, it's kind of flirting with character development with the reasoning with the plot, but the plot is pretty good because you go from Naruto becoming a Hokage to the Chunin exams, which is just crazy because all the adults are just like, we're gonna Hunger Game this. If you live, you live. You die, you die. We don't really care. And then we go to the actual Chunin exams, the preliminaries, and then the actual one, which is pretty crazy. And then you think that's the main thing. No, 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 no. Orochimaru coming out being a sneaky little snake he is, and boom, we get our first crazy big sequence of events that are happening. You have the sound, I mean not the sound. Yeah, you have the
Yeah,
sound
sound.
and you
Yep.
going against the leaf,
Leaf.
and
Yep.
we weren't expecting it, and it's wild. And then on top of that, though, too, we get the Sasuke rescue arc, and then we get introduced to more curse mark variations and stuff, which is badass. And then the biggest blow up of it all, though, you think Sasuke's gonna come back? No, no, no. Sasuke wins, technically wins the first fight, and walks away. He says, "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
You
And he
got
walks
him. Going ham.
exactly. And then it sets up for Shippuden. So that's why the plot's a 9 out of 10. Just like I agree with him, some of the fillers are bad, and that's why it got low instead of being a 9.5. But it's a 9 for me for the plot. I loved it. Character, I have to give it a 9 also because yes, there is some characters that are subpar. There is. Actually, scratch that. I give it an 8.5 because there's characters that they nerfed that I just felt like they should have never nerfed. Some characters you get more story of, and then they just drop. You don't even see them really anymore till like 2 seasons later, or maybe not even till Shippuden that you get
Right.
more of like to expect from it. That's why I had to like change it midway while I was talking because I talked myself into lowering it, which is wild. But that's how real I'm being here. Like I would have loved to put it as a 10 because I love all the main characters, but you gotta incorporate all the characters.
All
Like
the characters, right.
Sensei for Konohamaru. Did not care for him. I felt like he was just useless. He was like a wish version of Aruka. So I couldn't get behind it. Like he tried to be Aruka and you couldn't get the same feel off of that. They tried to replica Naruto's little clan there into like a more dumbed down version. I couldn't get
Yeah.
behind it. So that's why character development is a 8.5 out of 10. Fight scenes, 9 out of 10. I feel like the fights that matter, they went above and beyond. Now, the ones that were like lackluster, like Ino versus Sakura, like it was a good battle, but it wasn't an amazing battle. Like, yes, they're childhood rivals, but then they kind of like got rid of it. But then you see the fights like Sasuke waking up from his curse mark and snapping the dude's both of his arms off, and then literally just smacks them all over the place, all the sound ninjas, or Orochimaru's first entrance striking the fear in the Sasuke and Sakura. I mean, and then the final battle too, though, which is way better than part two. And you can fight me on the comments, but that's another day for Shippuden. But I'm just saying, too many memorable moments. I loved all the fights, and I'm not putting the nostalgia goggles on. I'm legitly looking at this from an anime standpoint. Animation, I give it a 9 out of 10. I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because Demon Slayer it raises the bar so much. From the animation style that it was from its time period to like what it becomes like at the end of Shippuden, like it's good. I mean, and I'm saying before Shippuden, I didn't mean at the end of Shippuden. But just it's good. I like because like Chidori was beautifully done. Like all the jutsus are done beautifully, and I loved it for the time period that it's in. And like, do they kind of reuse some scenes? Yes, you can go look at Naruto episode 1 and you can see that they literally reuse the same scenes left and right when they're bouncing back and forth. But the animation's not bad. It's a 9 out of 10. Overall, I give Naruto. See, I'm gonna have to go give it maybe. I'm gonna go 9. I'm just gonna go 9 just because there's some things that outweigh others, and I just can't put it on a lower tier where it's not in the S tier of animes for me because Naruto's big. Naruto was huge,
Oh, it's
and
massive.
it still is huge. I mean, Boruto's fumbling the bag a little bit, but it's Naruto, man.
Yeah, Naruto's
Believe it.
one of the big three, isn't he?
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
Godfather Goku, and then there's Naruto, Luffy, and is it Luffy or Luffy? Isn't it Luffy?
No, no. You're right about Luffy. I'm waiting to hear the third one. That's why I made the
Uh,
ear.
is it Ichigo?
Yeah. See,
Okay.
I ain't too young. Yeah.
See, I know some of my stuff. I know
What,
some.
what anime?
What's up, Bleach?
Okay, good deal. Sorry, I
Yeah,
had to test him because he's throwing out names. I had to make sure he at least knew what the anime was.
yeah. I haven't watched Bleach yet. I need to do that. But yeah, so okay, so 8.8 and a 9.
Get over with One Piece first. Just saying. Do One Piece first. Get that over with.
8.8 and a 9. Like it's only 0.2 away. That's not awful. I
No,
completely respect and understand your ratings.
it was tough, man. Because I'll be honest with you, 9 was it was tough. It was tough, but because I know it as a whole series, it's a 9 for me. It's just I don't disagree with your 8.8. I don't disagree one bit with it. I could co-sign on that all day.
Yeah, because mine was lower than 8.8, but I'm like, it's Naruto. It needs to be higher. Like this is not an 8.5 anime. This is it. I have to give it some bonus points, but I couldn't give it a 9.
No, I get it.
At
So
least not before Shippuden. Shippuden, I feel like could definitely change.
so here's my thing then. So because it's not a 9, you're calling Naruto the original series an A tier anime then?
A tier's fair, right below S. I can
Okay.
call it that.
Okay. No, I just wanted to just make sure because like when I'm looking at rankings, I'm also putting it as a tier list there. So when I'm putting shows low, I'm not gonna sit and rewatch it.
Well, okay, so as always, when we do these Let's Talks, we have a set of categories. I don't know if this one's going to be longer than the Pokemon one, because we had 5 for 9 different gens. So maybe this one won't be
Yeah,
as long, but we have a decent list for Naruto because like it's big. It's a pretty big anime, even like the before Shippuden. So what we
facts.
have is we're doing top 5 for all the pretty much anyone that was old enough to enter the tuning exam and younger. So we're gonna call them kids because that's what they are. They're kids.
Yeah,
Even though they're Genin, one becomes a tuning like that. Like they're younger. So we have those. And then you have the adults. So you have like the good adults. The Jonin and the Leaf. What we see as good guys, top 5 good guys versus top 5 bad guys. In your
yeah,
eyes, who you see as a bad guy, a good guy, and they could be a bad guy at a time, eventually becoming a good guy. They have some instances of that, but when they were a bad guy, they were an awesome bad guy, like kind of like that.
yeah,
And then after that, we're doing our top 3 for fights, transformations, and arcs. So yeah, I'm gonna take the lead on this one. I feel like it'll be interesting because he knows a lot more. So I want to see if he can. We're gonna do kind of a prediction thing. It's gonna be a little bit harder because I don't know as well for Naruto. So I'm gonna let him, if you want to guess 5 of the
yeah.
kids, or even 3.
5?
Even if you want to do 3, if you want to do 3, it's perfectly fine.
I'm gonna do 3 just because I feel like you're a wild card. You threw me off with Pokemon, so I'm gonna just go with 3 just to kind of. So I'm gonna say Rock Lee, Sasuke, Neji, Shikamaru. Actually, I'll go 5. And Naruto.
Nah, you were close. You were actually 4.
Yo, let's go. Look at this. Hey, Demon Slayer now Naruto. Let's go.
So you
Go
almost
ahead.
were three. It took me a lot to figure out who my fifth favorite was because I really have like a top four favorite characters. Really a top three. The fourth character can like, be hit or miss, and nothing against them. But so number five is Sasuke. Um,
Ooh.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
I
I gotta.
usually I usually really like the what do you call it, the not the
I'm pretty sure it's the Duragonist is what they're called.
Duragonist, the pretty
Yeah.
much the second main character, which you know it's Sasuke, Vegeta, Bakugo, uh, Nezuko, stuff like that. Like the person that's right below whoever the main character is, which in case for Naruto is Sasuke. And he's like one of my least favorite, at least in the first Naruto. I'm not a big fan of. I don't hate him. I think he's one of the coolest ones. I think I like him a lot more after he does his training with Kakashi is when I really start liking him more. But before that, like I don't know. I a lot of them are, they're assholes. Like Bakugo is an asshole. Like Sasuke's an asshole. But Bakugo made me like him more. I don't know. But Bakugo was funny. And I get it. Sasuke's on that revenge path and stuff like that, and I respect it. But hey, he made the list. He wasn't gonna make the list, so he made my list.
You're so disrespectful, though. Five? I need to know your other four. I need to know your other four, cause five.
So
You know what? You know, keep up with your list. We'll get into this later. Go ahead.
number four is Naruto. Now, out of main characters, he's one of the ones where he was not my favorite throughout the whole series. I liked him. I think he's awesome. He has some of my favorite anime fights of all time. Did he super annoy me in the beginning? Yes.
Believe
Right?
it.
Believe it. Date Bayo. If you watch Sub, I want to be Hokage. Like we get it. But he's enthusiastic. After watching it again, I've watched that series at least 3 times. After watching it again and like the second or third time, it's like okay, I get it. Like he's just passionate. He's a young kid, and he doesn't have parents and stuff. Like who's watching this boy? Like, but
Grandpa, who's basically nowhere. He's just chilling
right.
in his house with a crystal ball.
But no, so yeah, he gets there. I like his development in the series. I love a lot of his fights and stuff like that. But he just gets number four slot because there's 3 characters that I just was like, wow, better in my eyes. Number 3 is Rock Lee. One of my favorite Naruto fights of all time. One of my favorite characters simply because of the fact that this man can only use taijutsu and is absolutely insane at it. Like he just if I can't do these 100 punches, I'm gonna do 1,000 sit-ups. If I can't do 1,000 sit-ups, I'm gonna do 10,000 hand crawls, stuff like that. Like he's so cool, and like that fight against Gara, dropping the weights, to seeing how insanely fast he is, and like his fighting style in general. And he's I love funny characters that are also badass fighters, and he's one of them because like when he does his drunken fighting
Drunk.
style, yeah, the
Yep.
drunk fist, something like that. Like, it's great. He's great. He's the movies that he's in, love them. I love the Hidden Leaf Lotus, all that, and being able to open the gates and stuff that young, just perfect, awesome, amazing. Number 2, who is one of my favorite characters of all time for Naruto, huh?
It's in Neji.
Oh, Neji didn't make the list. Sorry to let you know, buddy.
Oh, that was the one. Okay.
It's Shikamaru.
Oh, what a drag.
Right, like he's also funny because like he just doesn't care, but like, he's so smart, and I really do like a smart character. Like that's why I like
Big brain.
Armin so much from AOT because he's super smart. But Shikamaru is he's a genius, and like he has like some type of like anxiety or depression or something. He gets super stressed out real easily about a lot of stuff. But like they put so much pressure on his back and stuff. Like in the Sasuke retrieval arc, he's the only one to become a Chunin because he's a strategist. Like I love watching his fights because it's not like how is he gonna overpower this person. It's like how is he going to beat them because he's just smarter. like him against Tamari, that was genius, absolutely genius.
You're not gonna say also his fight versus the Sound 4?
I think Sound 4, oh, 100% the Sound 4. But Tamari came in and saved him at the end of that because he was going to die. But even though he gave up against Tamari, like, not saying this man's going to win. If we're talking Shippuden, he has one of my favorite scenes in Shippuden against one of the Akatsuki. Oh my god.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. But yeah, so we're talking
I
about
know.
Naruto, so he just gets
Yeah.
even better in Shippuden. But yes, Shikamaru, he's awesome. And he has a super cool ability, Shadow Possession Jutsu. It's so cool. It really is cool. But yeah, number one, once I got introduced, I was terrified of this person. Neji?
Yeah,
Hinata?
Neji.
No, he didn't make the list.
Wild.
This person terrified me. I think they have a super interesting backstory. I
Uh,
think they have super great voice acting in dub and sub. I like both of them. And some of my favorite, like just my favorite scenes is Gara. Gara is so cool. He really is. And like his character development is one of my favorites. And his they ruin him in Baruto, but his character design I really enjoy, especially during the Sasuke retrieval arc when he gets that little bit of a clothing upgrade. Like he looks so cool, and like his backstory and that we don't know he's a Jinchuriki like Naruto, but the fact that he is and we had one like right here that's all this time like so cool. And then he becomes the Kazakage so young. Like they're like, it's you. We choose you. But yeah, so Gar's my number one. That's my top five.
I'm still in disbelief about Sasuke number 5, bro. I'm still shook. Anyway, all right. You want to take a guess here?
So I feel like we're gonna have at least some similar people. So I have to go Sasuke, Naruto, Neji, Rock Lee. Oh, and I'm throwing this one out there because it's a wild card. He's one of my least favorite, but I feel like you might put him on there. But I'm gonna put Shiba.
Kiba,
No, not Kiba.
the dog.
Isn't it Shiba?
Oh,
Isn't he the insect?
Shino.
Shino, my bad. Shino. I was combining the two. Shino.
You only got 3.
Only got three. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So my number 5 is your number 2, Shikamaru.
Okay.
I like him. Don't get me wrong. I like him. He's smart. I love the man. Such a drag. I love that, but he didn't really hit home for me. I mean, like, I like the character. I like the design. I like that he's the first Jonin, basically, out of the 9, and he's super smart, and his catchphrase is funny. It's just there's other characters that had more of an impact to me than Shikamaru. So my number 4, which is somebody you probably never even thought of, is Kankuro. I love the whole puppet aspect. That was the coolest thing ever. I never expected the like tools, as in like puppets, to be used, which was crazy. Poison and everything else. And then when he pops in to save Kiba, and you get a second
Right.
puppet, wild. And that death scene when you just hear the cries from Sakin and I can't remember his brother's name, but
Yeah.
just ah, just I think he's so cool. He has such stealth, and like I loved him all the way up till Shippuden because Shippuden just nerfed him.
Right.
Number 3, Neji, the genius, the arrogance, the Byakugan. I mean, and he can just take out chakra points.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, and the rotations too. His fight against Kidamaru was crazy. He literally used the rotation and just took that spear to the heart, and he just absorbed the chakra. And then you think he's dead and he's alive. Like it's just crazy. I love Neji. I think he's such a good character. Just doesn't get no love in Shippuden.
Yep.
Uh, number 2, Rock Lee, another character who just gets nerfed like a mother. Wasted potential. So mad. They said we can't have him stronger than Naruto. What do? Let's bust his arm. Let's bust his leg. Let's see what we can do with this now. Give him drunken fist. That's kind of cool, but he was the one person that put Sasuke in his place. If
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right? Because he had the Sharingan. Sasuke's all trolling, like, yeah, I got my Sharingan. I know your move. And he's like, oh, yeah, right behind you. And you know what? Sasuke has to copy his move to win without using any chakra because of the curse mark. So Rock Lee gave him a move in his arsenal. And don't forget, the man can only do taijutsu though. And then he has one of the coldest fights in Naruto. The weight drop, aka the jaw drop, and the first person to actually pierce through Gar's armor.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Rock Lee's that guy. And number one is Sasuke. Come on. Last of his clan. You don't know who his brother is till halfway. He unlocks the Sharingan, which is like one of the coolest abilities. And he can copy moves and jutsus. And like it's just crazy and wild. And he has fireball jutsu. He took a blow for our main protagonist, Naruto, that caused him to wake up. Then he gets Chidori, which is mind-blowing craziness. And that was one of the greatest tuning fights that I've seen. And on top of it, too, though, his curse mark is beautiful. Curse mark V2, growing at the two wings that are hands. Come on. And then just him being a menace when he wakens the curse mark for the first time, breaking the dude's arms. Like, I love Sasuke's character development, and he was so driven by vengeance and trying to be better than Naruto. He said, you know what, deuces, leave village. I'm going to be a vessel for Orochimaru. Wink. But yeah, and Naruto was an honorable mention. I First Naruto, couldn't really get behind him. I love the character. I love everything he does. He didn't hit home for me really. Shippuden, different story. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that when the Shippuden episode comes out though.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah. No,
what you think?
I respect it. I 100% respect it, and I can definitely agree. Like, see, mine can definitely be. I feel like I can flirt around with mixing quite a bit in mine. I just that from what I remember, my first initial impression, even after watching it a third time over, like it made me like Sasuke and Naruto more, but it made me like the characters I already liked even more. So they
Yep.
just had a better impression on me. I don't dislike Sasuke whatsoever, but I just like the other ones better.
Fair enough. I mean, it is your opinion.
Right, right, right. I was gonna have a garbage pick. Like I didn't choose Kiba or something.
See, I thought you were gonna throw something like that because you're like, oh, I have 3 dogs. I might as
Oh,
well choose
he.
Kiba.
I did. He was one of my favorites. My first time watching through, and then I watched through, and I was like, this would be way before I had dogs. But my first time watching through Naruto, I was like, oh, I like Kiba. And then I watched Shippuden. I go back through. I watch it again. I'm like, Kiba. Eh. I will say his move with what is his
Which one?
dog's? What's his dog's name? It's Fang over Fang, but it's the one where they do the transformation jutsu. So like the what?
Twin-headed, twin-headed dog.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Or
do
are you
like
talking
that.
about? Or were you talking about where there's 2 Kiba clones?
The dog, the two-headed dog.
Same. I felt like that was gave him something that could
And I
actually
think
be
it is.
worthwhile.
I think his fighting is cool. I like the whole like Fang over Fang, like fighting like a dog, a wolf. Like I really think that's cool. Just the character himself, like, don't like him.
You know what really hurts me though too though? I wish I would have got a little bit more Choji because like I
Right.
actually appreciated him when he had his fight with one of the Sound Four
That's
because
my
that butterfly was freaking beautiful.
in this Naruto. That's the only scene I really do like him in.
Right, that's what I
Right.
mean. Everything else was just garbage. He's just the
Yeah, I didn't
back.
expect that to happen. I remember watching it for the first time and I was like, "Holy crap! Like this is crazy."
Mm-hmm.
But okay, yes. So that was our
You're
kids. Now we're moving on to our adults that we see as good guys. Like
yeah.
we see them as like good people, good shinobi.
So I'm gonna say Aruka Sensei, Kakashi, Jiraiya, Might Guy, and I'll go third Hokage.
You got four again.
A.
It was hard enough to put Ruka in there, but I really only see the very beginning of him being any relevance. Even though he's a really great character and he's important because like he's one of the very many father figures for Naruto. Even though there's a few, I can say that Naruto has as father figures. But he's like one of the earliest on. However, I wanted to be inclusive and like Naruto does have some pretty strong women. So I had to choose a pretty strong woman. And so it's my number five, Tsunade. She does become the fifth Hokage, which is pretty. If you're good enough to become a Hokage, it means something. Everyone wanted Jiraiya to become Hokage, but next best thing, she stepped up to the plate, and she's insanely strong. It's so cool how she can just punch a wall and it crumbles. Like, I think it's cool, and I won't talk about any other reasons why I really like her. We'll just leave it at that.
Gonna say, come on, Dylan, stop the cap. I knew there's only one reason this man like he can't even name her true attack. What's her attack? Go ahead. What is it?
It's in that
Since she
it's that
five.
it's that mark on her forehead and what do you mean her
Her
true
move, bro.
attack?
Her move. Heavenly kick of pain. The only move she really uses. It's where she puts her dude, she smacked her. She smacked Orochimaru in the three Sonic fight with it. Come on, bro.
All right, it's been a
Yeah,
while. It's been a while.
no, this reason for liking her is. It's all good though.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Number 4 is the third Hokage. It's the first Hokage we really get introduced to. We do get introduced to the fourth in a little flashback, but like we get the most time with him. He's the current Hokage up until the tuning exam. After that, when the Sand and Sound attack, which is a great fight scene because he for being that old, he was able to fend off the reincarnation of the first and second Hokage while also battling Orochimaru, who is one of the three Sannin, which was one of his students. Like, it's crazy. He has one of the greatest summonings I think I've ever seen. I really like his summoning. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but really, and the fact that the monkey man turns into a pole, like, it's so cool. But no, yeah.
You Kage summoning. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Orochimaru there for a second.
Oh no.
Can't think of his name right
What's his? Isn't it Huzen? It's the third Hokage's real name.
now.
Can't remember what his actual name is. But yeah, third Hokage is number 4 on my list.
Saratobi.
Saratobi, yeah, Saratobi. Just so he was one of the great Hokages, awesome, and yeah, really enjoyed him. Number 3, just like on my kids, they look identical, and it is, the man that will tell you that youth is power. It is our guy Sensei, my guy. It is our guy. He's awesome. He's so cool. I didn't like him the first time I watched it. I really did not like him whatsoever. And then knowing what happens to Shippuden, watching it more, my man is just his constant rivalry with Kakashi is just hilarious. It's amazing. When he saves Kakashi from Itachi and pretty much was going to 1v2 Itachi and Kisame, because he was down for it. Like, they ran away because they had to leave. They were causing too much stuff, but he was fully ready for it because he's been practicing to fight Kakashi with his Sharingan. Like, another thing, like, he can do ninjutsu and stuff like that, can't he? Or
he can. Because in Shippuden, I believe he uses like when he does. Yeah, because he does a whole hand signs.
So he can, but it's not as much. He is majorly taijutsu.
Yeah.
But he's cool, he's funny, he's motivational, and his relationship with Lee, that's one of the things I didn't like about him at first, which I grew to love, was like, he's so favoritism. He really does favorite Lee so much, which is, I thought it was kind of crappy, but then I'm like, he loves them all. But Lee just because Lee reminds him of him. That's why he favors him so much. But no, my guy's awesome. Now these next two,
Are you
they can't
flipping?
be they can't be flipped. I was gonna say they may be flipped, but these honestly not only are my two favorite good adults, they're my two favorite characters in Naruto. In this order. This next person, number 2 on my adults list, is my second favorite character in Naruto, which would be one of the 3 Sannin, Jiraiya, the Toad Sage himself. Jiraiya the Gallant. I mean, come on. Come on. He's insanely powerful. He's one of the 3 Sannin. He's Jiraiya. He's the pervy sage, and like he's funny. Like he can be much sometimes, but he's a funny perv. Like you don't get that very many times. I'm not the big. What's your face for?
Because your picks are hilarious. Anyway,
I love Jiraiya. I think he's awesome. The fact
now just
that
he's a perv the whole time. That was just
yeah, he's a perv the whole time, but he's a great perv. Like not many people can be pervs and be good about it. Take Zenitsu. Zenitsu's an awful perv. Yeah, I want somebody to love him, but either way, Mineta, awful perv. Kaminari from My Hero, awful perv. But like,
we anime pervy list.
Dry would be top of the peer. He'd be the best. Well, worst perv or best perv.
Just in general, as a whole, it's good and bad. It's Mineta. You choose anything else than Mineta, you're wrong. Come
That's
on,
fair.
bro.
That's fair.
You've seen him in the wood arc when they went to the cabin. Come on, bro. That says it all right there. Anyway, back to
But yeah,
Naruto.
so yeah, Dry. He's just cool. The fact that he didn't come up with the Rasengan that was the fourth Hokage, but he learned it, mastered it, and wasn't he the one that created the giant Rasengan?
I think he was the first user of the giant
Right.
Rasengan. Or because in Shippuden it's kind of weird because the timeline kind of like skips with memories and stuff like that. So I don't know if uh Minato uses it first. That's the thing because you got to remember because when he teleports over from Obito and he uses the Rasengan, it's technically a giant Rasengan. I think he just teaches it to Naruto and we get introduced to it first.
Right. Okay.
I think that's what it is.
But yeah, and then he's the man that taught Naruto the Rasengan, which is Naruto's like one of his top 3 signature moves, which is Shadow Clone Jutsu Rasengan, and I guess we're seeing Shuriken eventually. But no, amazing. And if you couldn't tell by my shirt who my all-time favorite Naruto character is, would have to be Kakashi Sensei, the copy ninja of the leaf. He's so cool. He's so cool. Even when he doesn't have his Sharingan, eventually, like he's still awesome. He becomes Hokage, which I never expected. Never. Last thing I expected was Kakashi to be Hokage, and he does become Hokage. And like I don't think he really wanted to. They're just like, we want you to be Hokage, and like, he's just so cool.
He was just caught up in the moment, honestly. They're just basically, hey, we need somebody. Tsunade's out of commission. We need you quick.
Right, and he's the first like strong character we get introduced to. With his fight against Zabuza, like it's just crazy, and you get to see how insanely powerful he is. Like why they call him the copycat. And the thing is, like everyone knows him. No, every single villain that fights him or fights the Leaf or fights something, and that he gets brought up, everyone knows or has heard of him.
Yep.
And
there's a long run.
The fact that this man went through probably close to Sasuke, they both went through quite a bit, but Kakashi went through a lot with watching his best friend die, killing his other best friend, his dad committing suicide. Like Sasuke lost his whole family to his brother. I get that. That's also rough. But what?
Bro, all right, we're not doing this. We're not doing this discussion. You know what? Yeah, we are. Listen here. You know what? Let me get to my picks, and then we'll bring this back up because I can't agree with you on that. I
I'm not.
can't agree with
I'm saying they're close. I'm saying they're close. It's hard to tell which one's worse. It really is.
bro. Sasuke's having a great day, and what happens? His brother literally murders his mom, murders his dad, literally puts him through genjutsu, basically throwing him through the ringer. He
Right.
gets his whole destroyed, and then he's by himself, bro. He is literally by himself. At least Kakashi had somebody right there. I'm
Who?
telling you though, he had Guy. He had the third Hokage. He literally had everybody to be there to support. But Sasuke
So
on the other
Sasuke didn't
God,
have Sasuke didn't have Naruto. He didn't have Sakura. He didn't have Kakashi.
dude, he was more impacted by all. Oh, so Kakashi was there before, like he was there the whole time. Sasuke was by himself. Nobody hanged out with Sasuke. Sasuke didn't hang out with nobody. He was so
So
traumatized.
did Kakashi. Kakashi barely hung out with Guy. It was until he started
Kakashi,
growing up.
Kakashi didn't even listen. Sasuke himself literally put himself in a bubble. He got so destroyed that he couldn't even be the same person. His outlook on everything was built on vengeance. It was all vengeance. What was Kakashi's? There is no vengeance. It's just
Right,
sadness that
because no, which is good. Which is good because if it was vengeance, he would have went bad. If it was vengeance, Kakashi. That's the only point I was getting at is that Kakashi had a rough past similar to Sasuke's, and the reason that I like Kakashi as a character is because he didn't go bad. He stayed
I was
good.
no, the character choice is great. I was talking about you're gonna compare his was a lot worse than his was worse than
Not
Sasuke's.
okay, not a lot worse, but they're on par for me. I think they're on par. You know, I can say Sasuke's pretty bad, but I can also think
Sasuke.
I can
That
debate back and forth with those two. But okay, let's go to your top five. Let's go to your top five.
what do you got? What you got? What
So
you
you
got?
definitely have Guy. You have Guy, Jiraiya, Kakashi, third Hokage, and I'm. Oh, this is hard. Only other person I can think of I'm gonna say is Asuma. Three.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Okay. We have the third Hokage as the fifth entry here. I like him. I like that, we didn't get too much of him. We got a nice little battle. We got to see the cool jutsus. He had mud style, which was something we never saw before. And, he took on the two, like you said, he took on the two former Hokages reincarnated, which were regenerating every time he would try to attack them. And then he sacrifices himself for the greater good of the leaf, causing one of the saddest moments in Naruto. Season like the first original Naruto, one of the saddest moments. And yeah, it's just lost his life and kind of put Orochimaru in a handicap for at least that one little arc section where they're trying to find Tsunade. So I mean, that's why he's number 5. All right, number 4, Might Guy. I mean, he's so cool. I mean, he'd be a little bit higher if it was Shippuden, but because this is regular Naruto, he didn't put too much of an impact, but he did enough of an impact. I love his commentary. I just love how he talks, and his techniques are cool. And like you said, he's about to go toe to toe with two Akatsuki members, which we didn't even know were this crazy powerful
Right.
group. And just for the simple fact that he's able to go leave Hurricane and I teach Lee all these different techniques and basically try to give him a better life, like the son he never has, into something great. By the way, you got 4. I was just messing with you.
I was gonna say I'm like that means either that means either Kakashi or Jiraiya is not on your list once you said the third Hokage, and I was going to freak out.
See, I just like getting him wound up a little bit.
So that means
Anyway,
okay, who's your third?
Haruka Sensei. Without
Okay,
Haruka, Naruto would have been in the dark. Naruto would not be Naruto. We'd be seeing the Demon Fox come out, especially if Haruka had no interaction with him or was this tough on him during the exam to make him into a Chunin?
I would have liked that. I would have liked to
Again,
see.
I would have liked it too, but it would have shifted the show in such
Oh,
a
oh
different
yeah.
direction. If I don't think it would have been as great as the show
Oh,
is what it
definitely
is,
not.
because you wouldn't get all that character development. So without Aruka, we wouldn't get any of the events that we get with Naruto.
It's kind of like that one Naruto movie when Madara puts Naruto and Sakura under the Genjutsu.
Yep. When they're all under the infinite Tsukiyomi in the tree.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like without Aruka, we would not have the show that we have today, and that's why he has to be in the middle for me. If he didn't have that much of an impact to like start the beginning of the show, probably would have not even been on the list. Okay, number 2 is his number 1, which is Kakashi. I love Kakashi. I love that he summons dogs as his summoning. I love Chidori. I love that he's the copycat ninja. I love that it's the first Sharingan introduction too.
Mm-hmm.
That we get to see that he can actually copy, not just copy, but at the same speed though too though. Just that sequence of him and Zabuza going
Oh,
like
so
every
cool.
kid who watched that literally wanted to be able to do hand signs so quick. And just the double water dragon and water prison, like so cool. So cool. And then him taking away the curse mark, or at least sealing it up for
Right.
Sasuke midst of the tuning exams happening and teaching him Chidori. And then also taking both Naruto and Sasuke and swinging them off. And
Oh, such a good scene.
you think Sasuke had the bigger impact because of how it looked up front. But
Yeah.
then when you look back, Naruto blew him out of the water, which then edged Sasuke a little bit more, say, go to the dark side. And then number 1's Jiraiya, man. I mean, he's the pervy sage. He's a Sannin, and not only. And the cool thing about the Sannins though is that they were young when they became the 3 legendary Sannins. If you think about it, they are the big 3 of how My Hero is,
Right.
because they're young at the time that they were considered the big 3 and everything else like that. And I mean, we're going strictly off of Naruto, I know. But Rasengan teaches Naruto a cool way of doing it with the water balloons and stuff like that. And then you get a Sannin battle. And then before everything ends, he takes our boy Naruto with him to train to get so much better. And like he just has to me that's a huge impact, because without that training, without being introduced to Naruto, we wouldn't get Shippuden Naruto.
Right.
Naruto would basically be stuck where he's at. He would lose control. And there's prime examples of it when we go to Shippuden where he loses control. But yeah, Jiraiya's number 1.
No, I agree. I like that. See,
I
I
loved your face.
definitely I could flirt with Dry. I feel like I could flirt with Dry and Kakashi, but like Kakashi's just such a cool character, and like it's
No,
just
he
really
is.
hard. Yeah, like any of the series
Listen,
is my number 1.
it was a flip flop for me too, but I mean, I had the edge just a little bit more because of the impact that he has throughout the whole series as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kakashi has a big impact. Don't get me wrong; he has a big impact, but it's more of an impact to Sasuke. Yes, I know he's my favorite character, but
Right.
Naruto's the main. Yeah, his name's in the title. Watch the video, by the way, of us drinking, because we all love that name.
Oh yes, Naruto. Yeah.
And
Go
short,
ahead.
short too.
The short's pretty fun. Go ahead and
All right,
guess my top 5 villains.
so I'm gonna go Itachi, Gaara, Orochimaru, Zabuza. Trying to think if you're gonna throw a curveball at me or not. I don't really think you are. And I'm gonna go Haku also. I think Zabuza and Haku basically can be in that category. I can see you doing it separate.
You got 4.
Yeah, hey, let's go.
You almost got 3, but I ended up switching out my final pick. I thought about it, and I didn't really consider Gara as a villain, and I'm like, would I? And Gara is my number 5, just for the fact that like I like him more as a good guy, but he was such a good villain as a kid.
Right?
I
Right?
had Kisame as my number 5. And the reason I had him there because like there's not a whole lot of villains like we talked about. There's not a whole lot. But like this big shark dude comes out with a big shark sword. Like that's pretty cool. But
And says I'm gonna cut. So
he didn't do a lot.
yeah, but I mean,
It's still pretty
That
cool.
Blade Naruto though, he's like
But
coming with that.
seeing Gara like transform into Shikaku and all that, and like just how menacing, and like, he literally killed somebody in the tuning exam. Just
Yeah,
crazy, just crazy.
before he even got a chance to fight. Yeah,
So Gar's the only character so far since we've done this podcast that's gone on 2 lists in the same anime.
yeah.
For me, I don't like to do that. I like to be broad, but like there's just so little villains in the first Naruto.
Oh, that's a lie. AOT.
Oh,
You had,
okay, that's true. That's true. AOT,
but still, it's second
right,
because we did it
right.
by. You're good. I get what you were saying though. I'm being Mr.
So
Technical.
number 4 is Kimimaru.
Okay.
One of my favorite curse mark or user of the curse marks. Even though he was like just introduced, he lasted a couple episodes because he was dying. Oh, the Bone Kekkei is so unique. It's disgusting, but it's so cool. And he turns into a velociraptor, like a dinosaur velociraptor bone monster. Like,
I was about to say, do you like it because he looks like a dinosaur? You beat
yeah.
me. I
And
figure so.
like,
You look.
mistaken me or correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't he lose because he ends up like passing out because he dies? Like, doesn't he die in battle because he was sick?
Yeah. Yep.
He would have beat Gara and Broccoli.
Yep.
He would have beat them both, but he died because he was super sick. So like he was so cool, and like that's when you really start learning that like these are called Kekkei Genkais. I'm pretty sure. So the
So, some of them are because him and Jugo are considered. No,
Kekkei,
no, 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 no. Haku, and Kimamaru have Kekkei Genkais
but isn't the
because
Sharingan a Kekkei Genkai too?
no, it's its own thing.
Right,
It's
like
its
it.
own. No,
Yeah,
but I'm saying Kekkei Genkai is completely different.
is
It's
it
in a
different?
whole nother. Yeah,
Okay,
because if you look at Haku and Kimamaru, they have the same. They have the same look. They each have a Kekkei Genkai.
okay. The one's ice. This is Haku. The ice mirrors, and then
Yeah,
Kimaru has the bones.
yeah. Curse
Okay.
mark. Yeah.
Number 3 is the first big bad we get introduced to. Well, technically the first big bad, not the first bad guy. That's Mitsuri, whatever his name is. Who cares about him? I'm talking about Zabuza. Zabuza was he was so cool. Came out, he posed a threat to Kakashi, like not like a major threat, but he was like, we get introduced to Kakashi, who's this badass
No, you.
ninja.
Uh, no, 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 no. You were right.
Am I right?
You're 100. Yeah, I would say he was a big threat to them
Okay,
because you
okay,
never saw anybody that was on the same power level as Kakashi. Because
right.
Kakashi at that point, he looked like a god compared to everybody.
And then out comes this guy that's like, he trapped Kakashi. If it wasn't for Naruto and Sasuke, Kakashi would die.
Suffocation.
And
Yeah.
he went out because of Haku dying. One of my favorite scenes is him killing all those dudes with using his mouth. Like, oh my god, it was so cool, so cool. But yeah, so that was number 3. Number 2 is Orochimaru, one of the creepiest villains in all of anime. Like, exactly like, and the fact that you get introduced to him because he is pretending to be, isn't it a sound ninja? Is it a sound ninja?
As part of the what do you call the? I forget specifically what part of the tuning is it. The Forest of Death and the Forest of Death one. Yes.
And like, he bites Sasuke, gives Sasuke the curse mark. He convinces Sasuke to come over. And he's just so creepy. He's also one of the 3 Sanin, so he's super powerful. But Orochimaru is just, he's always been creepy, and I really enjoy that. He's a very disturbing villain, and I like that. Number 1's got to go to probably one of the coolest quote unquote villains who actually did something for the village, which was Itachi. Itachi is such a cool character. I have enough. I have my Kakashi shirt. I have an Itachi shirt somewhere. I just couldn't find it. But Itachi's so cool. He's so cool. He's so, like, one of my favorite fights in Shippuden is Itachi versus Sasuke. But that's there. This is here. But even like, putting freaking Kakashi in that Infinite Tsukiyomi, like, that's not Infinite Tsukiyomi.
No, no, no. I'm
It
shaking
is
my head
okay.
like
Okay,
it was
okay.
a
I was making sure. I make sure I say the right things. But yeah,
no, no.
he's just
Oh,
and like
that's what I meant.
he just strolls up out of nowhere, and he's just absolutely dipping on all these Jonin. He's like, yeah, you Genjutsu, mine's better.
I actually think Kakashi and them jump on them because I think they're just chilling in the village,
Well,
like
no,
they're
so like
planning.
so they jump on them, but I'm
Oh, okay.
saying that Itachi like destroys all of them.
Oh yeah.
But and it sucks because like he was sick, but he was so insanely cool. But yeah, so Itachi's my number one. Even though like he is a villain because he killed a whole clan and stuff, and like he became a Akatsuki, he still like did it for a cause.
Don't know yet.
Right, we don't know yet. So yep, so that's my top five villains. Going off your top five villains, we're gonna do Itachi, Orochimaru, Gara, Zabuza, and Haku.
Okay, you got three.
We've been on a trend, 4 and 3. I've gotten three of yours, you've gotten four of mine, I think, for each one.
Okay, Kabuto is number 5. Kabuto was a sneaky, sneaky guy, and he almost killed Sasuke. He almost killed Sasuke when he was healing up in the hospital. He had his dissecting blade ready to go, and then Kakashi showed up, and he dressed up as an Anbu to sneak in there. Because in the opening, one of the greatest openings, I can't remember what the song title is, but he literally just shakes off his mask like that, so he shows Kakashi like, "Hey, I'm me." And then he goes and pushes Naruto a little bit, which makes Naruto squeeze his hand and then use his Rasengan and just pow. And then I don't know, like he fooled everybody. He fooled everybody. Like I don't care who you are, you can't say he was not good at one point. You at one point thought he was a good character. I mean, unless you've watched a lot of anime and you know every time that a person does this on their glasses where it has that glare, they're nothing but
They're
trouble.
either evil or they're just a smartass.
That's what I mean. But still evil with the smartassness. Like something's gonna happen.
Right.
Uh Number 4, I have to give it to Gara. I love Gara's transformations. Every time that there was a game created, I said, please let me have the different variations of his transformation. Because you get where he has like the cool half face and then like the arm, and then he has half of it. And then he's just huge Shikaku. Like I loved it. He gave us the first feels that there's actually somebody amongst like the younger generation that is a huge threat.
Right.
He basically killed people. Like that was our first I would say our true first like feel of death. Besides like Zabuza and all them, because like but I'm talking about like in the tuning exam
Right.
portion of it. He killed in every portion of it. And then he changed the whole Leaf Village for life. And then he just gets a great character development where he comes back and he helps the Leaf Village there, and he's a Kazekage. Like, there's not more you could ask for a good character development. Goes through the downs, gets back up, and then boom. Naruto's no Jutsu worked in full effect.
Yeah. One of the greatest examples of no Jutsu.
Exactly. The one example I could truly think of when you think of no Jutsu, that right away is the first one I think of. Everybody else has a different opinion. Okay, number 2 is Orochimaru. I love Orochimaru. I think he's awesome. I I don't understand why every time somebody goes, the characters don't get you're in for a bad time. It's going to be horrible. He is not up to any good. He's literally as he looks. He's a snake. He takes people's identities. He makes people's in the vessels. He's a cult leader. He straight up makes curse marks at for children. And he just says, "Go, my children, do my bidding, so I can find the perfect vessel, aka Sasuke." And then you get reanimation jutsu, which we didn't even think the dead could be brought to
Right.
life in this point. Like I would have never thought that would be a jutsu, and boom, there it is. Let's think what else. He literally has a cool summoning, like you said. He has a very well, you said it for the third, but he has a cool snake summoning. He literally loses his arms and he's still a threat to the ninja world because of the Reaper Death Seal. I mean, he's just a menace, especially in the first like introduction of Naruto. So my number 3 is Itachi. I mean, come on, yo. Literally, he comes up, he literally strolling to his old stomping ground saying, "Oh man, haven't been here in a minute. Last time I was here, I was killing a whole clan. Wait, what was that clan? Oh, my last name. Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm him. I'm him. Oh, you want to use Genjutsu on me? You want to use Genjutsu on a Sharingan? Come on now. Who are you playing with? Why are you stupid? You think your little tree Genjutsu's gonna work on me? Asuma's freaking love interest? You think you're gonna do that to me? Psh, the show should be called Itachi, not Naruto. Watch this. And then, oh, you want? Hey, Kakashi, you. Nah, I'm not gonna say that because that would be bad. But he basically crucifies him. He he crucifies him and like literally what seems like an eternity, and you just see Kakashi just going ah with his eyes just rolling with the veins popping. It's just oh crazy scene. And then he uses Amaterasu. The first introduction of Amaterasu, he burns Jiraiya's toe, which we thought he was going to be stuck in. He just burns it. If I would have got a little bit more Itachi, oh, and I mean, he holds Sasuke up to the freaking wall and says, "Hey, little brother, you want to see something cool? Here, enjoy your little stroll down memory lane for a second. But don't forget, get stronger so I don't have to keep on beating your ass, Sasuke." Walks away. That's my number 3. And then my number 1 is Kimamaru. Why? This man almost ended the whole series in a minute. Think about this with me. If Rock Lee doesn't come, Naruto's dead. There's no more saving Sasuke. He was done. He would have ended Rock Lee. He would have ended Gaara. The reason he did it? Sickness. You had to nerf another great character. Because I'm telling you, Kimamaru doesn't get sick, the show of Naruto is over. Cut the credits, everything's done. Everything's done. He literally was the epitome of what that show could have been done with. I love Kimamaru. Like you said, he becomes a velociraptor. I think it's cool with the bone situation that he can just shoot his bones like bullets and take his spine out and use it as a whip. Like, wild. Crazy. Kimamaru's number 1, man. Come on, stop playing with us.
All right, so now we're going on to our top 3 fights. We're not going to predict each other, so I'll go first and say my number 3, and you go, vice versa. So my third favorite fight in this series is going to have to be. I was hard choosing which one with this character, but it's going to be the first interaction with Zabuza. I do like the bridge fight a lot, but I think I might just count them together like the fights with Zabuza because I love seeing Naruto and Sasuke work together, and that Shadow Clone Shuriken.
Shadow and my guy,
It
yeah.
was so cool. And seeing Kakashi for the first time use a Sharingan and copy his water dragon and oh my god, it was just such a cool sequence. The bridge is also cool because that's when you see Sasuke. Doesn't he develop another pupil in his Sharingan, or is that when he?
No,
just...
that's not till. It's not till
okay.
the second. It's till the Chunin exams that happens.
But he takes hits for his homie Naruto. Naruto reveals his first time using the red cloak chakra, or kind of a little bit of the red cloak chakra, and it's just so good. Just the Zabuza fights are great. I probably the first one just because that you don't know how they're gonna beat them, and they do. It's just so good.
My number 3 is Haruzan Sarutobi versus Orochimaru. I thought that was beautifully done. Like I said, we had the Chunin exams, and then boom, we just get hit with the Sound 4 at the time, literally doing a whole barrier there. Nobody can come in, nobody can come out. It's basically a battle to the death. We got to see great jutsus. We got to go ahead and see great visuals. And on top of it all, we got a little bit more of a backstory of Orochimaru and the third Hokage. We got impactful death, which was the third Hokage, which changed the landscape of Naruto because now they have to search for Tsunade. and Orochimaru loses his powers of his arms. It was a good fight. You got to see the first and second Hokage, which has crazy powers, which we didn't even expect. And, well, kind of expect because they're the Hokages, but it was well done. I just wasn't expecting a great fight like that.
Yeah, no, that was also a really good one. My number two, however, is going to be Lee versus Gara. One of the best fights in the series. Just dropping the weights, opening the inner gates. Just it's just so cool. It's just go for it, Lee. It's just it's one of my favorite fights to rewatch in Naruto, and watching people's reactions because like once his weight hits the ground, like everyone doesn't expect it, and just boom, and just you see all this dust clear up. It's just good. It's just good. That's my number two.
That's my number two also. I love it
It's that
because
good. It's that good.
like you were saying about like go for it, Lee. He's literally like, really, Kai Sensei, I can do it. And he just gets all giddy and stuff because he's like, yeah, I'm about to put in the work. I'm about to show who I actually am. I ain't just this little speed demon that y'all think I am. I am the speed god. Drop, boom, and then you just see him pushing and breaking Gaara's armor, the first person to break Gaara's armor. And I would have put it number one if they didn't nerf our boy Rock Lee.
Right.
They nerfed him hard and they said, oh, you can't do it. And then we get the coolest ending where guy's just like, psh, don't touch my son.
Okay, so do you want to say our number one fight at the same time? Because I'm pretty sure it's probably the same.
Are you sure though?
I hope it is.
It may or may not be.
Okay, I'm gonna say mine. If it's the same, just nod your head. If it's not, then we might have to stop the podcast.
How about I just say it? Okay, I'm just gonna say what mine is. My fight is Naruto versus Neji.
You're joking,
I wanted to
right?
give. Yeah, I'm joking. It's
It's
Naruto
not
versus Sasuke.
Sasuke. It has to be. It has to be.
Well, I wanted to give you something that was somewhat believable, so you believed it.
Right.
Because you
I
were.
would have believed. But not only is this Naruto and Sasuke fight the best fight in the younger Naruto series, but it's the best Naruto and Sasuke fight out of them all. Good. I'm happy you agree, so we don't have to debate this.
Of
Now,
course, there's no debating it. I listen. I just since this is both of our number one, we're just gonna both deliberate right here. I despise that second fight. Yes, did it have cool jutsus? Absolutely. But the first one though, they fought in pure silence though. Pure silence. One moment Sasuke has the upper hand. The next moment Naruto has the upper hand. Then you get the introduction to both the full cloak, the one tail cloak, and the curse mark V2. And then they have the most epic clash ever where it's a giant purple spear.
yeah, the giant
And then
purple Rasengan, and then the black
no,
Chidori.
together. Yeah,
Yeah,
together that purple effect. And you see Sasuke standing over top of Naruto, and that's where Naruto is now about to change forever because he drops his headband down there with the scratch over his head because he said to Naruto, "You won't lay a scratch on me."
such a good fight. And the animation is absolutely phenomenal too.
Dude, it was beautiful. There is no other fight that touches or compares to it. From feels to animation to jutsu usage to even hand-to-hand combat. I'm telling you, find me a fight. Put it in the comments. Find me a fight that will outbeat that fight in the original Naruto. We're not talking about Shippuden. I'm talking about OG Naruto.
OG Naruto.
Give me something that will touch that, and I will go ahead and give you your props.
Yeah, no, good list. Okay, so we're going next. We have transformations. So
Flash abilities.
slash abilities. Okay, so number three for me is going to be Lee with the inner gates.
Okay.
because it's so cool. You know, he activates it, it boosts everything. He gets insanely faster, stronger, all that jazz, and he looks super cool. He looks terrifying because like his eyes get like white out, everything's like distorted a little bit, and he's an absolute menace, and it's part of one of my favorite fights. That's why Lee's transformation, Lee Inner Gates, is that for me.
Number 3 for me is Gaara's Shikaku variants. So, as I was describing earlier about Gaara being one of my top villains, I just love how the cool different variants are that you see that Shikaku slowly taking over. Gaara and just his jutsus in general with the sand, how he can make a spear to literally making a giant shield to a sand burial to a tsunami, just like and him being able to do all that in his different variant forms though is wild. Just wild because we never saw a giant summon battle at that point. And I'm not including Naruto versus Kimagachu, I believe is what his Toad's name is. Or that
Oh,
may be the
gotcha.
name. But I'm not including that because it wasn't Giant Toad Kimagachu versus Shikaku. Just saying, like, just the whole variant of Shikaku taking over Gaara is beautifully done.
Kaijus.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
Naruto Kaijus. That's why Gaara is my number two, and his Shikaku transformations. I didn't expect it. Last thing I expected when he like started slowly transforming, and then like when he became like the little one, like goes like half his upper body, and all of a sudden he's this giant freaking raccoon dog, sand dog. Like it's crazy. You didn't expect it, and it gave me one. Another. Like, it didn't make my list, but it gave me one of my favorite fights, which was Naruto versus Gaara with the Kaijus when they use the transformation jutsu to bring out the Nine Tails Fox. Absolutely crazy. Gaara number two for transformations for me.
So your number 3 is my number 2.
Lee.
Rock Lee's transformation, just the crazy green aura, the dialogue in between it all too, the flashbacks to give you more of a feel for it. And it's just this is the first time we actually get to like see what the inner gates are because we heard about them, we hear how powerful it is, and then just boom.
Boom.
He was untouchable. He was breaking sand. He's not just breaking sand barriers, but he's breaking like air itself. He was
Sound
bouncing
barrier.
through. Yeah, he's just going boom, 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 boom. And yes, it has a limitation, but for that amount of time though, for being a kid and almost ending Gara, I mean, obviously he wasn't gonna beat Gara, but
Right.
still, crazy transformation.
Absolutely crazy.
Oh, this is gonna be
I feel like our number one are going to oppose each other. Because if I've heard anything about your number one, I think I know what it is. But my number one is going to be Naruto unlocking his first tail, um, Fox Chakra. Um, I can't think of the name of it. Cloak. First tail chakra cloak. Anytime that Naruto goes like Kurama mode, pretty much not like the Shippuden one. He
no.
got like the red slits in his eyes, anything like that. Even in Shippuden, those are my favorite Naruto fights. I prefer that Naruto over the like the controlled Kurama because it's so cool. He loses control and he's insane.
I'm about to piggyback off of you right there. I loved him versus Orochimaru and Shippuden when he was the Four Tails, where he basically had his skin basically all burned off. That was wild. And then,
Right.
mm, mm. Even against Pain too.
When he gets with the eight tails,
Yeah, and he
it's
almost
just
went full
crazy.
9. Like, oh, like cloak mode is cool. It is an awesome power, but nothing beats the feels of the cloaks because you're like, ooh, what does it look like now? Especially when 4 came out, we were just like, what else does it
Right,
go
because
to?
there's regular one, two, and three, and then four just started changing his whole appearance.
And basically became a mini fox.
Like he was just when he like got the cloak during the fight with Sasuke, and he's seen like clawing at himself because he's like in pain, and he starts screaming at Sasuke to like sending him back with his voice and
Yeah.
insane,
And
insane.
he put Sasuke through the ringer with that form until he unlocked his Mangekyo.
Mhm.
Once he unlocked it, it was basically. But yeah, so I'm gonna go and say that is also my number 1. Naruto's cloak.
Really? Okay.
Joking. Nah, man, it's Sasuke. Number one, boy. Number one transformation. Sasuke B2, specifically B2 curse mark. Look at his face now. He is so mad at me. He's like, he
I'm
got
not
me
mad.
twice.
No, that's why I
Got
called that. I said it's gonna be the complete opposite of my number one.
that like that's kind of how our choices are. We're kind of like the flip of the two coins. But Sasuke having the cool hands, him unlocking it, and not only just that, when he just blocked Naruto's first attack with the one claw and then just smacked him off right there, and then the Dark Chidori, like I love the curse marks. Curse marks are my favorite. Like I was so upset when they didn't really do much more with it in Shippuden. Like, it was cool that they gave it a little bit of a redemption in Shippuden against Datara, but after that, though, I was just like, no. Oh, and against Satoshi for a little bit, but still, I'm just like, I guess he doesn't need it, but still, I love that for him.
Yeah. No. Good picks. Good picks.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're down to arcs. Top 3 arcs is the last segment.
Yep.
So this one is I sat down. There's only like 4 or 5 actual big arcs in it. The big arcs. Ooh,
No.
yeah.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Go ahead.
That's what the Naruto fan page says when I looked up arcs, so I can get a list.
Oh, because it says on the internet. Got you. Got you. You ain't gonna go based off of the show? You're not gonna go
So
off that
number 3 is the Search for Tsunade arc. Simply for the fact that we get a lot of Jiraiya, we get that bond between Jiraiya and Naruto started, and then we get the 3 Sannin battle, which was crazy. The 3 giant kaijus, the giant snail, snake, and toad.
And that's the only reason.
And then we get Naruto using the Rasengan for the first time against Kabuto. I like that arc. I think it was a great solo Naruto arc, and yeah.
Mine is the Land of Waves. This is where it's their first mission. So it's there's the Zabuza, Haku, Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi. Like we got to go see so much growth from them just being those little ninjas that, Naruto doesn't really know anything. Sasuke thinks he knows everything, and they both get humble. They train climbing up a tree so many times. Like they learn chakra control. 1. 2, you got to see one of the most iconic moves that gets reused, not just only in Naruto, not only just in Shippuden, but also in Boruto. The Shadow Clone Shuriken, the giant Shuriken. You get that. And then Sasuke improvises that move too with different stuff, making 2 Shurikens. Yeah, I'm just saying, you got that. And on top of everything else too, though, Sasuke's honorable death, basically, death at the moment.
Right.
He shoves himself in there. You see Naruto use some Kurama chakra for the first time, which was a pretty beautiful sequence. And then you just get in one of your moments that you love, Zabuza going ham with just a knife in his mouth and stabbing everybody, going bang, 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 bang. And then you just get the beautiful snowfall just dropping down. Zabuza and Haku just, it's okay. We're gonna go die together.
No, that was if it wasn't the Search for Tsunade, that would be my 3rd arc. But I just really like seeing the 3 Sannin battle, and I love their Sangan with Naruto.
I mean, I respect that. The only hype for me for that one was like I felt like the Sannin battle was okay. I thought it could have been more. Because like they're all hype, and I get it. Orochimaru is like at half power, but I would have loved to see Orochimaru at full power against the other 2. And Rasengan, of course, Rasengan was a main reason why that arc was amazing, because that was the birth of Naruto from that point, his signature move.
Mm-hmm. So, number 2 has to be the Chunin exams.
Okay.
Great. I mean, each level of it, you didn't know who was going to pass, who's going to make it. I mean, you had to kind of figure at least all the Leaf Village ninjas were going to make it because they're the main characters, but you didn't know. They were interesting. Ooh, in the Death Forest, Naruto and Sasuke versus Orochimaru, even though Orochimaru could have killed them both right then and there. That was still an insane battle. I loved when Naruto stopped the snake and he asked Sasuke if he was scared. uh just so good. And then the preliminaries, like the actual fights and stuff, like there's some not good ones we talked about earlier, but there's so many good ones, like Lee versus
There's some.
Gara, Neji versus Naruto. Even Neji versus Hinata wasn't like
Oh, you're going through all of them.
all of
Sorry,
them. Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you were going in the forest and then you jumped. That's why I was
Yes,
like,
yeah.
okay.
We're in the prelims now. Well, okay, so prelims. Uh, of course, Lee versus Gara, Neji versus Hinata wasn't even that bad. Naruto versus Kiba wasn't that bad either. Sasuke versus the Sound Ninja. Um, who'd Shikamaru face?
He faced off against the girl with the bells. She threw the two little bells up against the wall,
Oh yeah.
and then it was affecting his ears. But then he got her to say, "I surrender."
And then even after that in the finals, like Naruto versus Neji was a great fight. Um, Sasuke versus Gara was a great fight. Even though we got interrupted. Shikamaru versus Tamari was a great fight. Like, and then like I do we count what happened after that separate arc?
What do you mean?
So
What are
like
you trying to?
right after the
What
tunings like so when Orochimaru fights the third Hokage and when Naruto fights Gara. Do you count that in the tuning, or would you count that at like a different arc after the tuning?
Give me 1 second. Keep rolling though.
Oh, so you're checking the internet, Mister. Look at the
Listen,
internet.
listen. Do you want me to give you an accurate answer? Because I could. Here, look. You'll see my screen turn off right there. My face looks different. You want my honest opinion? No,
Yeah.
it does not count. There you
Okay.
go. No,
That's what I
because
was
it.
thinking too.
No,
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna put. No.
Because like they're not doing an exam. They're in an actual little war now.
Yeah, it's after. I like to call that the Shikaku arc is what I like to call it because then that involves Ruchimaru versus
The third.
Saratobi.
Yep.
Yeah, against Saratobi, and yeah.
All right, sir. What's your number 2 arc?
Well, it's the tuning exams. Tuning exams gave us a taste of like what the ninja world can bring to us, and like what they have to go through to have the process of going up in the ranks to get better missions and more payout. Because that's what some of them wanted was just more respect on their name and stuff like that to handle better missions. I thought it was an interesting take that you got the heaven and the earth scrolls where you had to go take the other person's scroll in a time limit base. Also, if you think about it, they had to get it done by I think before day rise, I believe it was. Then you
Uh,
had the twist where it was You think it's Naruto, then it's Orochimaru, and then Naruto pops up. Like you have that, and they figure out, oh, he has a cut on his face on the other side. That's why. And you get all those great fights like you already mentioned. I mean, there's just so many good fights. And you get a good training with you get Chidori introduced, which is a key attribute in Sasuke's arsenal. And I mean, you just get so many memorable fights. Like it's so hard not to put it in there. You can't just have a Naruto episode and not put that as one of the top 3 arcs.
okay.
What's up? What's funny? What's funny? Yeah, he thinks he's sly because he wants to call me out on this podcast.
No, no, it's just my number 1.
So either he's gonna play a trick on me because I played twice on him, or he's actually gonna be dead ass on this. So go ahead, Dylan. What is it?
I'm like
I can tell.
I can't lie because I smile.
Yeah, you're lying. You're lying right
I
now.
can't. I physically can't lie. I physically
But
can't lie. So
everybody,
hot take.
yeah, he's lying. He's laughing hard. You see how he's
The
laughing?
the I don't want to say because okay. I want your genuine reaction to this.
Yeah, because he knows he's bullshit. He's BSing me right now. Go
I
ahead.
It's the Land of Tea escort arc,
You're a liar. You're a liar.
bro. The whole thing was action packed. The
You're lying.
race, the ending. It was
You're
started
lying.
the main Sasuke.
You're not getting me. You can lay all these facts, but you're not. You're not gonna go get it to me.
Do you
Yeah,
want
you're
to?
not gonna go get.
Do you want
I'm
to?
gonna. I'm gonna keep my same stance on this because I'm not gonna
Okay,
get fooled
what's
by
yours? What's yours?
Sasuke recovery mission.
That's mine too.
Why?
That's mine too.
Yeah, I knew you were lying. You were smirking and joking the whole time. He's not me. He's not him. All I'm gonna say is this. Yeah, forget your little T arc. I know what your one argument was gonna be is that Sasuke got humble because Chidori didn't work against the lightning blade that was from the fourth Hokage.
But
We got the
Rasengan
introduction.
did.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know. But come on, he was
Oh,
playing the whole Sasuke recovery arc. You got the big four pushing all of our characters to the limits. It's just wild. And then the Sand Ninja come in, and then you get the
right.
most epic fight. You get Naruto versus Sasuke Final Valley. That's how I know for a fact that was going to be number 1 for him.
And like each one of those fights against the Sound Ninja just get better and better. Like,
Everyone.
and they're so unique too, because um, so the two that you take it where each character, each Choji and that Sound Ninja, they each start getting like they're on base level. The Sound Ninja releases his the first
V1.
version V1, and then Choji takes one of the pills, and then V2 Choji takes the other pills, so on and so forth. I don't know the exact order of who takes what pill or who does the transformation first.
Green.
What?
So the order that he takes the pills are red, yellow, green.
Yeah, I just don't know if he takes a pill first and then the dude uses his curse mark, or if it's vice versa.
He takes a pill first, I believe, and then he awakens the V1.
V1.
Then he takes the second pill to kind of like go bigger and stuff like that. And then he lets him do a little bit of that, and then he goes into V2, basically stopping him in his track. And then when he's about to do the final blow after using the third pill, he just has one of the coldest. I can't let you do this. We gotta save Sasuke. I believe is what he said.
But just all the curse marks in the V2s, like they're just so good. They're so good. It's so cool. And like you said, the Sand Ninja coming in, just absolutely obliterating all of them, just awesome, perfect.
Like the one fight that really stood out to me besides Kimamaru, the one like fight that like made me be like, wow, was Neji versus Kimamaru. I mean Kitamaru, sorry. That was a good one, but Shikamaru versus the other Sound Ninja though, putting him under that weird genjutsu where his arms were basically like just melting and the like 3 demon looking ghost things, yeah, wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good. Well, all right, everyone. So that was our Let's Talk Naruto. It was fun. I was like it. Definitely, I don't dislike any of the podcasts, but there's some that I favor more, specifically the Pokemon one. So if you haven't seen that one, go check that out. If you're new to the podcast and this is the first one you're listening to, make sure you go back and you watch all the other ones, especially the introduction one. It's like 17 minutes long, short, sweet, simple. Watch that so you get to know a little bit more about us, and then as you keep going, you'll see more and more and more. But yeah, if you want to go watch any of my videos from the anime drinking videos, which are going to be coming to the TAA eventually, but I have a few previews of what that looks like over on the main channel. I have a whole bunch of old videos I've created and some new reactions I'm going to start doing. That's over on the Comstock channel. If you want to watch me play some video games, head over to Lord Pickle channel. We got horror, Pokemon, anything that's just fun moments. Go over there, watch
Wait,
it there.
got horrors? Dylan, this
Horror.
is a PG.
Horror.
Oh, sorry. His favorite character is one of them is Jiraiya. He's really on the pervy side about it. So sorry.
Okay. But yeah, so you can go check me out over at Lord Pickle, Don Comstock, and then you can go see your other professor at
Mad Reggin, aka Tom over here. The channel is Mad Reggin. We got Mojo Mondays every Monday. We be reacting to all types of videos from our favorite internet list creators. Watch Mojo. And we also got Pokemon Tower Defense, a great series that's going through. You don't want to miss out. Royal Family, I'm telling you, good stuff's on its way. And also some other games. So hey, you got any suggestions or anything like that? Pop through, hit that like, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and leave a comment somewhere. I'll go ahead and read it, comment back to you. Let's keep this nation rolling.
yeah. So, with that, class is officially out of session. Have a great day.